A massive migrant caravan making its way through Mexico right now, heading north towards the U.S. southern border. Nearly 8,000 people are traveling right now. It could grow and swell to as much as 15,000 people by tomorrow. That's when Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas will be in Mexico to meet with Mexican President Obrador. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson spoke with Maria on Sunday Morning Futures, slamming President Biden's handling of the migrant surge. Watch this.
Well, you've said that this is by far the most important issue this country faces today. Tell us why.
Well, it is a clear and present danger to America. It's obvious. I mean, we're getting numb to the numbers. About 6 million people since the start of the Biden administration have come into this country illegally, and we don't know where they are. 1.7 are what they call known gotaways. That's a misnomer because we detected them, but we have no idea who they are. We have an administration, unfortunately, that just calls it a challenge. You know, the challenge we have in dealing with this administration is they caused the problem. They are the root cause. They want an open border. So I appreciate the fact that they're going down to Mexico to maybe try and do something about this, but that's like 3 years too late.
Joining me now is National Border Patrol Council Vice President and Border Patrol Agent Art Del Cueto. Art, good morning to you. Thanks so much for being here. I want to get your reaction to that soundbite from Ron Johnson, because the Democrats, the administration, they do want an open border, and that is why they have left it open, knowing that people are flooding across into this country for the last 3 years. Having said that, there's a big financial toll as a result of this as well, not just on states across the country, but also on CBP. We were reporting that there's a bonus incentive being offered to be able to attract agents. I mean, this is really has become a colossal mess. And the fear is that the damage has already been done.
Honestly, I've run out of words to describe it, so I think I'm going to use your own words of colossal mess. I haven't heard that one, and that's exactly what it has become. Look, put aside where I've worked, I have lived here on the border my entire life. I have never seen it as chaotic and as horrible as it is right now. I get asked, how's the border situation? And I respond with, what border? We have not had a border since this administration took office because of the amount of individuals that have continued to come across from all over the world, military-age men, people from everywhere, and all they have to do is claim asylum and they get released, and it's because of the lack of, enforcement and the lack of caring, frankly, from this organization.
Let's talk about the numbers at the border as well, because they're not slowing down since the start of the new fiscal year. Customs and Border Patrol reporting that migrant encounters hit more than 242,000 in November. That's up from the October numbers, but down from September's record of almost 270,000 migrants in a single month. So you've got border agents that have also encountered 17 people on the terror watch list last month, bringing that total to 34 in just the first 2 months of the fiscal year of 2024. Art, I mean, this is it's completely out of control at a time when we're worried about terrorism on our own soil because of what's happening in the Middle East. You're allowing terrorists to come across the southern border?
And it'll continue to happen because of the lack of consequences from this administration. And I'm going to tell you, it's everywhere. When you see the numbers go up in Texas, they'll go up again in Arizona. And it's a constant distraction from the cartels, who are the ones that are controlling where the groups are coming across. And it's going to continue to happen because, again, there's no consequences. And you're talking about the numbers. Also, the gotaways. And then you talk about the terrorist, groups that have come across. Those individuals that have been on the terrorist watch list, I will add, they have come across with other individuals from their same villages. And just because they have not hit the terrorist watch list doesn't mean they shouldn't be on there, or they don't want to do some type of harm to America. So, when you look at one thing, something else distracts you. It is a complete mess on our southern borders.
House Speaker Mike Johnson, as well as the Homeland Security and Judiciary Committees, are set to travel to Eagle Pass, Texas on January 3rd. They're going to do another field hearing on the border crisis. And then, of course, you've got President Biden taking some time off. He was at Camp David. He's going to head to St. Croix on Wednesday. Your reaction to how the Biden administration is handling the crisis at our southern border? You've got the president on vacation. He's sending his proxies out, which to me appears to be optics. See, we're trying to do something when they're actually not doing anything.
No, you could look. It's obvious that they just do not care about what's happening on our nation's borders. And you could pretty much grab, a dart and throw it on a map, and wherever it hits on the southern border, you can have a field hearing there because it is a mess. And individuals know it. This administration continues to ignore it. And then you turn around and look at areas in Arizona, like the Tohono O'odham Reservation, where it's over 60 linear miles with the border, where it is just complete chaotic, and they haven't even allowed the media on there so they can see how bad the problem is. So, you got one area where, it gets exposed, which it should be, but you got so many areas that are left in the dark, and the American public is going to suffer for many, many years to come. And this administration just does not care.
And they're suffering right now. I can tell you that as a resident of New York City, this migrant crisis has really touched us, and I can only imagine how other states and cities across the country feel. Art, great to see you this morning. Thank you.